Hello YouTube world, my name is Eric Kovalevsky and this is the second devlog for my first game jam. If you haven't checked out part 1 yet, I will leave the link in the description. But since then, I have made a lot of progress. First started the day off yesterday by tweaking some of the mechanics and getting the enemy patterns to work. And then I went on to create the artwork. So let's just have a look at that right now. The first thing I did was sketch out these characters roughly. I actually did these one at a time. I would sketch one out, as you can see, very scribbly, and then I would create the sprite from it. And then I would come back and I would sketch the next one out and then create the sprite from that. That is how I worked in this case. And then so I would shrink the sketch down because these are very high DPI. I would shrink it down to twice the size of what the avatar is supposed to be, and that is how it would work. And then when I created the pixel art, I actually shrunk it down afterwards when I exported it. The final result being a little soft and the lines not being as sharp, and that was a conscious choice, albeit an arbitrary one, but they still look really good at the resolution at which the game is played. Once I started importing the sprites into the game maker, I really started to feel like everything was coming together, and it was so exciting. So this is where the game is now. So now if you boot the game up, you can see the visuals have really come together. Everything I think looks fantastic. Early on yesterday, I made the decision that, well, originally I had kind of a sci-fi setting in mind, but then I decided consciously that I want to make it more of a mythical setting. However, the music making software that I'll be using is, it's kind of a drag and drop interface. And the audio libraries that I have for it right now are basically focused around the 1980s. So knowing that, I decided to make the visuals a little more 80s as well, which is hence the colors and the little bit of a punk rock attitude from the enemies. So I think everything is looking good, and as you can see, all the enemies, they have their own patterns that they fly in with. And then there are currently 6 waves of enemies, and then after that is the final boss. So this is where I am right now. As you can see, if you watched the first video, I made a lot of progress, and to be quite honest with you, I did not expect that it would look as good as it does. I'm quite impressed with myself, considering especially that this is my very first game jam. So what's left? Well, sound. Last night, late at night, I recorded a few sound effects. Well, not recorded, I edited and designed a few sound effects for it. So now all I have to do is some voiceovers and of course the music. And lastly, I do want to do a little bit more art. I want to have a title screen, I want to have an instruction screen, a little bit of a storyline preface screen, and the ending. So hopefully those aren't going to take me too long. I'll try to be thrifty with how quickly I work, because I have to start figuring out how to submit this thing in 5 hours now, and it's crazy. So join me tomorrow for the final devlog. Thank you so much for tuning in.